evening to each one of you. Back here with my next video on the chapter 7 of book Moments, and that is The Last Leaf. The Last Leaf by O. Henry. An amazing story, a perfect example of sacrifice, selflessness, and definitely friendship. This story also builds in hope, faith in a person, and tells us it is very important to keep strength. Whatever problem may come in life, life is full of ups and downs. We need to have courage. We need to see through whenever we come across any type of problem, whether it is illness, life skills problem, any problem related to finances, business, relationship, whatever it is. We need to keep strength, hope, and have faith. Everything is going to come back positively, perfectly well. We need to be optimistic towards each and every problems or stages that we go through in life. So this is an example of a lot of values we can learn from this little chapter, this small chapter by O. Henry. And without wasting any time, let us start. Here we have two main characters, that is Sue and Johnsy, and yes, Behrman, a 60-year-old artist. All three of them are artists. And let us see how the story goes about, because if I tell you in the beginning, you will not enjoy this various stages of a story. We all have learned the proper method of story writing, the rising action, the climax, the falling action. We should enjoy every point of this creation of O. Henry. Let us quickly start with introduction. It is autumn. The wind is blowing hard and it is raining heavily. All the leaves on an ivy creeper have fallen except one. Why doesn't the last leaf fall? It is autumn season. Autumn season is the season where we have shedding of leaves. The tree becomes very dense in the summer season, and after that comes the autumn. The scorching heat of the sun dries up many leaves from the trees. They become brown, they become yellow, they become dried up, and when the wind blows, these leaves fall, the trees shed leaves, and this is the autumn season. Let's start. Sue and Johnsy, two young artists, shared a small flat. The flat was on the third story of an old house. It was an old house, and in the third story, these two girls lived. They shared the flat and they both were artists. Johnsy fell very seriously ill in November. She had pneumonia. Pneumonia is when the lungs get congested in a very serious manner. Pneumonia is a life-threatening disease. If not treated properly, people, they can die. It can be very fatal. She would lie in her bed. So Johnsy was down with pneumonia. Pneumonia is congestion in the lungs and then high fever, and because of that, you are not able to get up. So she used to keep lying in the bed without moving, just gazing outside the window. Sue, her friend, became very worried. She sent for the doctor. Although he came every day, there was no change in Johnsy's condition. One day, the doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worrying Johnsy?" "No," replied Sue. "But why do you ask?" The doctor said Johnsy, it seems, has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. If she doesn't want to live, medicines will not help her. So what happened was, when the doctor came, doctor used to come every day. Sue called for the doctor started his treatment, but after a few days, after giving proper treatment, the doctor expected that the condition would improve, Johnsy's condition would improve, but he did not find much improvement. So he called Sue aside and asked if anything was worrying Johnsy, because he could not see much improvement in her, or whether she did not have the willingness to live, or there was something that was bothering her. So Sue was very worried. Sue did not know anything of this sort, and she was like a little shocked. What was worrying my friend? What actually was the matter? She did not know. And whatever an illness be, a patient, even if the patient is given the right treatment, if he does not have the willingness to live, he poses a problem, the doctor poses problem, the illness doesn't go very quickly. One should have a optimistic attitude that I will get well, I have to eat my medicines, I have to eat this, I have to do that. Even if you don't want to, you should have a pessimistic outlook. All right. So then the doctor was very worried, because he was giving the right medicines, but the improvement could not be seen. Sue tried her best to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes, fashion, but Johnsy did not respond. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting. To take Johnsy's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. Now what happened was that Sue became very worried, and Sue thought that she should do something. Even if Johnsy was worried about something was bothering her, Sue planned that she had to distract her from that type of worry, and to think about something else. So she started talking about clothes, she started talking about fashion, because girls are always very much interested, and especially especially teenagers or young girls. Nowadays I've seen, I talked in the class too, that nowadays boys also are a lot in fashion. So she started talking about these things. She brought her drawing board. They both were artists, and she brought her drawing board so that Johnsy would see her drawing and she would get interested, and she started whistling also. She tried her best to distract her, to entertain her, so that even if anything was worrying her, she could help her to come out of that. Suddenly Sue heard Johnsy whisper something. She quickly rushed to bed and heard Johnsy counting backwards. She was looking out of the window and was saying 12, after which she whispered 11, then 10, then 9, then 8, and then 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She saw an old ivy creeper. Ivy is a type of, it's a name. An ivy creeper, it's a creeper that climbs on the walls. Beautiful plant, beautiful creeper plant. Halfway up the brick wall opposite their window. So just outside their window, there was an ivy creeper, and Johnsy was all the time looking outside the window and counting backward from 12, then 11, then 10. So, Sue went and saw what she was anxiously. Sue was very worried, and she went and looked out of the window, and she saw this ivy creeper. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. Now, it is a creeper. There was nothing wrong with shedding of leaves. Autumn season, the month of November, west wind blowing, and the tree shedding the leaves. This was very natural. It was the nature of a tree to do so. So then Sue asked, what is it, dear? 6, whispered Johnsy. They are all falling faster. 3 days ago, there were hundreds of leaves. There are only 5 left now. It is autumn, said Sue, and the leaves will fall. when the last leaf falls, I will die. Now this was something that was worrying Jhansi. She had somewhere in her mind connected herself with that ivy creeper and the falling of its leaves. She started thinking that the way the leaves were falling down, the tree was shedding its leaves, in the same way her condition was also deteriorating, and one day when the creeper would be left with no leaf at all, she would die too. Pessimistic approach. Right now she was sick. There are times when people are sick, very sick, and they go into depression, they stress a lot, they worry a lot, and that, deteriorates their condition. We should not do so. Alright, so this is something we are learning here. Alright, so then Sue comes to know that, alright, this is actually the problem. She's worried about this, and Jhansi says that there were hundreds of leaves before, but right now only few are left. 3 days back she had seen many leaves, and she was expecting the last leaf to fall and that she would die too. Oh, that's nonsense, replied Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? The doctor is confident that you will get better. So then, Sue tries to comfort her, to try to make her understand that everything was okay and the doctor was giving right medicines and everything, that she would become better, and the doctor was confident too. Jhansi did not say anything. Sue went and brought her a bowl of soup. Now Sue was very worried. She was cooking also. So she goes inside and she brings a bowl of soup for her, because you at least don't want to eat anything, but you can have some liquids to drink. That would really help. I don't want any soup, said Jhansi. I'm not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I will sleep forever. So again, she was waiting for the leaves to fall one by one. 4 leaves were left, and she says, when the last one falls, I'll die. And then she did not have soup. She was not hungry. Sue sat on Jhansi's bed, kissed her. She tried to show compassion. At that time, when a person is sick, he needs a lot of love, lot of attention, lot of compassion. So Sue tried her best to do this, and this is a perfect example of friendship. So, and selflessness. She was not worried about herself. She kept doing for her friend. So here, she kissed her forehead. She kissed her and said, you are not going to die. I can't draw the curtain, for I need to complete the painting. So I need the light. I want to finish the painting so that we can get some money for us. Please, my dear friend, she said, Jhansi, promise not to look out of the window while I paint. So she tells her friend that she needs to paint, and they needed to complete the painting, because then they would sell the painting and get money by selling it, so that it would help both of them. All right, said Jhansi. Finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I'm tired of waiting. I have to die, so let me go peacefully, and like one of those poor, tired leaves. She called the leaves tired because they had become brown and then yellow, and then they have dried up. Try to sleep, said Sue. I have to paint an old miner. I will call Behrman up to be my model. So now she tells her that you try to sleep, and I am going to call Behrman. Behrman was a person, and we'll read about him. He used to stay in the ground floor. She says, I have to paint an old miner. And these artists, they usually, to get original effect, to give original effect to the painting, they make real people sit in front of them, so that they are able to paint by copying them, and even the lines, the wrinkles, whatever they want, they have a role model in front of them, and then they paint by looking that way. So she says, I'll go and call Behrman. I need to paint an old miner, and I need to call him. So she tells her to sleep quickly so that she's able to complete the. So then she wants Behrman to be there as her role model. Sue rushed down. Behrman lived on the ground floor. He was a 60-year-old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream. Sue poured out her worries to Behrman. Now, Sue was very worried. Sue goes quickly to the ground floor. Behrman was a great painter and he was 60 years old. He was also a painter, but his dream was to paint a masterpiece which he had not been able to do up till now. That was his dream. Painters have dreams to paint masterpieces which becomes famous or which really, it is an original thing which people appreciate. She told him how Johnsy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. So Sue goes and she explains everything to Behrman. Is she stupid? Asked Behrman. How can she be so foolish? So he says, oh God, this type of negative thought, pessimistic approach towards life. So he did not like this, whatever Sue said. So he says, but then, he says, Sue says she is running high temperature, that is, she has fever, and complains Sue, she refuses to eat and drink, and that worries me a lot. Now, Sue was actually very worried, so she wants the 60-year-old man to suggest what can be done, to come and see what she could do, what else was required. They tiptoed into the room. Tiptoed, when you walk on your toes without making a noise. They tiptoed into the room. Johnsy was sleeping. Sue drew the curtain together. She, closed the curtains, drew the curtain together, and they went to the next room. They went to the next room because Sue wanted to show the ivy creeper. She peeped out through the window. There was only one leaf on the creeper. All the three others had fallen down. 4 were left, right? It was raining heavily and it was icy cold. Wind was blowing. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. Behrman did not say a word. He went back to his room. Now Behrman saw only one leaf was there. It was very windy. The leaf could fall any time. So he just had, he just saw, and without saying anything, he went to the ground floor where his room was. Johnsy woke up next morning. Now the whole night crossed and it became morning again. Johnsy woke up. In the feeble voice, feeble is weak voice, she asked Sue to draw the curtains. So she told Sue to draw the curtains, means to open the curtains, to move the curtains away. She wanted to look out. Sue was nervous. She drew back the curtains very reluctantly. Reluctantly, when you don't want to do anything. So she did not want, because she was worried whether the last leaf was there or not. Maybe it had fallen. It was so windy and it was so cold. It was raining heavily the last night. Probably the leaf must have fallen. Oh, Sue exclaimed as she looked at the vine creeper. She saw the creeper and she exclaimed with happiness, look, there is still one leaf on the creeper. It looks quite green and healthy. So the leaf was still there. In spite of the storm and the fierce winds, it didn't fall. I heard the wind last night, said Johnsy. I thought it would have fallen. So Johnsy also says, yes, in the middle of the night, even I heard that it was very windy, it was raining, it was very stormy, and I had thought that the leaf would fall. It will surely fall today. But again, this attitude was there, and she says, no, it has not fallen up till now, but it will fall today, then I will die. You won't die, said Sue energetically. Sue was suddenly very, very happy because she, now she had this example of the leaf to keep strength. In spite of the storm, one leaf was still there. So she takes up this as an example and she says, you have to live for your friends. What would happen to me if you die? Johnsy smiled weakly and closed her eyes. She just closed her eyes because she didn't want to answer. After every hour or so, she would look out of the window. After every hour, she used to look out and see the leaf still there. and find the leaf still there. It seemed to be clinging to the creeper. It was there. It was clinging to it. It did not leave the stem. In the evening, there was another storm, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at the leaf. Johnsy was also amazed. In such a stormy night, that leaf did not fall. Then she called out for Sue. She called out to Sue. I have been a bad girl. Now, she got the strength. She got the strength back. If a leaf could struggle, could bear such windy and stormy nights, the rainfall, why couldn't she? So she got the courage and she called Sue and she said, in the evening, I have been a bad girl. You have looked after me so lovingly and I have not cooperated with you. I have been depressed and gloomy. So now she apologizes and she says, I've been bad. I've been troubling you so much. You have been trying to entertain me, take good care of me, give me soup and all whatever is required, call the doctor for me. You have shown compassion to me and still I have been so gloomy and so depressed. The last leaf has shown me how wicked I have been. I have realized that it is sin to want to die. I was wanting to die. But now I have realized that it is a sin. God has given such a lovely gift of life to each one of us. Why don't we value? Ups and downs are always there in life. That is what life is. How can everything be just smooth? Then how will we be ever able to taste the sweetness, taste the success of life? The essence of success can be tasted only if we have tasted failure before, isn't it? So then she realizes her mistake. Sue hugged Johnsy. Then she gave her lots of hot soup and a mirror. And then she gave her a mirror that, take the mirror now, comb your hair, look nice. Johnsy combed her hair and smiled brightly. Johnsy got the courage back, the strength to live. She realized her mistake. In the afternoon, the doctor came. After examining his patient, he told Sue, Johnsy now has the will to live. So he said, now she is willing to live. Now I can see the difference. I am confident she will recover soon. Now I must go downstairs and see Behrman. He is also suffering from pneumonia. So he says, now I have to go to the ground floor and I have to see Behrman because he is also suffering from the same disease. But I'm afraid there is no hope for him. Why? Because he was 60-year-old man. The next morning, the whole day passed. Johnsy must have been better now. The next morning, Sue came and sat on Johnsy's bed, taking Johnsy's hand in hers. And she said, I have something to tell you. Mr. Behrman died of pneumonia this morning. He was ill for only 2 days. The first day, the janitor, who is a janitor? The caretaker, all right? The caretaker of the house, of the building. We even call the watchman as janitor at some places. So the janitor found him on his bed. His clothes and shoes were wet. And he was shivering, quivering because he had caught cold. He was all wet. It was November. He had been out in the stormy night and he had been out and he had got wet. Then they found a ladder, a wooden staircase, right? They found a ladder and a lantern. Lantern is the light, still lighted, lying near his bed. So he must have come back. He must have kept the ladder. The lantern must be there, and he was all wet, and he had caught cold, and so he just within his wet clothes only he went to bed. There were also some brushes of green and yellow paint on the floor near the ladder. Some paint brushes of yellow and green color were found. "Johnsy dear," said Sue, "look out of the window. Look at the ivy leaf. Haven't you wondered why it doesn't flutter when the wind blows?" That is Behrman's masterpiece. He painted it the night the last leaf fell. So Behrman had sacrificed his life. This story is also an example of sacrifice. But before dying, he was able to fulfill his dream, the dream of painting a masterpiece. When he had come to see Johnsy, he had realized that the last leaf would fall. The whole night it was so icy cold and stormy. The last leaf fell. He took his ladder, he took the lantern in this rain, in the storm. It was so cold. He climbed up the ladder and he painted a leaf in front of Johnsy's window. Only because he knew that this courage was needed to be given to Johnsy so that she gets the hope, she has faith, she gets the strength, she takes the leaf for an example to struggle in life, to come up hopefully, have willingness to live, to value the gift of God, the gift of life. And so before dying, he must have got wet, and he painted that leaf. That was the painted leaf that they all were seeing. Because of that, Johnsy got the courage. Johnsy realized how Behrman had sacrificed his life for her. He had saved Johnsy by painting his masterpiece. This leaf, which looks so original, but it indeed was his masterpiece because of that leaf. It looked so original that Johnsy got the courage to live. Isn't it a wonderful creation of O. Henry? It definitely is. Life is beautiful. Ups and downs are there. We need to fight. We need to take courage. Friendship, sacrifice, selflessness, not to think about self. He did not think about himself. He went out. He was 60 years old man. Obviously, pneumonia is such a disease which can be so fatal, and then he must have got wet and he couldn't call anyone. The janitor found him wet the next morning. He must have called the doctor. By then, he had got pneumonia, and then it's very difficult to treat old people. I hope you like this story and have understood it. Any problems you go through, please put it in the comment section. Do take good care of yourself. Bye.